All right, my people, I have a problem. May not be your problem, but unfortunately, it's my problem. Bad news for my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. I'm feeling some damage with the display, some early cracking going on, which is disturbing to me. Now, am I trying to say that or recommend that you not get this device? Absolutely not. I'm not saying that. Matter of fact, it wasn't that long ago that I highly recommended this device, and I still do. Just because I'm having this issue does not mean you're going to have this issue. Okay. I hate when people, I hate people, but I hate when people have an issue with their device and they trash the whole line. Excuse me, y'all. They trash the whole line. Like, oh, don't ever get this phone because it did this. Don't ever get this phone because it did that. You could have just gotten a bad unit. People been telling me about green lines on the OnePlus. I've never gotten that on any OnePlus device ever. And I've had tons of them. That's not my issue. I remember when the LG had the boot loop. I still got older LG devices that never got the boot loop. So just because you get a bad unit does not mean that, other people won't get a bad unit. I mean, these things are man-made. Things are subject to fail. Some things are subject to fail early, but now you may wonder why I have these other folds on the table. Well, the reason being, I don't have any crackage in either one of these devices, and they're much older than this device, which is pretty surprising to me because this is the original Z Fold, original Fold, and this is the Z Fold 2. Neither one of these have any damage to the display whatsoever, no early crackage, nothing. Now, I don't know if you guys are going to actually be able to see this, but I'm going to try and see if the camera will catch it. I'm just not sure. Probably not, though, because it's in its early stages. So it's going to be very hard to see. And it's right in this area right here. This is this long. And it's right here. And I can feel it when I just take my fingernail over it. I can feel the difference. And it's it's about this long. Now, I'm sorry if you can't really see that. Maybe you can see it a little bit more with this. See, if you look right here and right here is really, really fine. You should be able to see it a little bit. That's about as good as I could get. But I could feel that, because when I was doing this with my fingernail down the whole screen, I was noticing how smooth it was. And then when I got right about here, I'm like, whoa, what's that? I'm like, oh man, that's early signs of cracking. And then when I went down here, everything was smooth. And the reason why I know it's cracking is because my wife has the Flip Fold 3 and her display is cracking. It's cracking much, much worse than this. Much worse. And I told her at some point she's going to need to get herself a new one before that phone is unusable. Now, like I said, that doesn't mean that you're going to have this issue with your Fold. I'm not saying that because you may not. Now, it's not affecting anything. The display itself is still beautiful, still works fine. There's absolutely no issues with the display whatsoever. It's just something I noticed when I decide to, move my finger down there just to check it, just a random check. And it's just crazy because, like I said, I have the original Fold, and there's absolutely nothing on this crease. It's just smooth all the way down the middle. And I use this all the time, like literally every day. Now, I don't put a sim in you, but I use it. It sits in. I use it as a clock. And when I'm watching TV in between commercials, I'm watching YouTube videos on this device. So I'm opening and closing it a lot, and it's almost 7 years old. So it's been around for a while, but I have zero damage to this display. Only thing that's weak about this device is the hinge. That's it, just the hinge. The hinge is the only thing that's weak about this device. There's nothing else weak about this device. Now the cameras on here not the best, of course, but I'm talking about overall build quality and just material. This phone, they built this phone to last. For their first time, they did a really great job because, like I said, I have no issues with this device whatsoever. I just don't. So there's no crackage. It's just as smooth, no problems whatsoever. And with my Z Fold 2, same thing. You open it up, it's just smooth all the way down. You take your fingernail and lightly just go right down the crease. There's no distortion, nothing. It's just smooth all the way down the middle. Now, this may be something you may want to try on your phone just to check to make sure it's not cracking. But this display, no damage whatsoever. No issues. Now, the only thing that I hated what they did with the Z Fold 4 is they made the display smaller. It's not as this is taller and wider. This is brighter, but I don't know why they did that. I don't like that. I just don't like it. If anything, I want a bigger inner display, not a smaller inner display, but it is what it is. But like I said, no damage with the display on this. No damage with display on this, but there's some early crackage on this display, unfortunately. And like I said, I'm not saying that you're going to have this issue. I don't know if you can still see it, but I showed it to you earlier. I don't know if you're going to have this issue, and I hope you don't. And I'm not telling you don't buy this device. If you're into, if you want to get into foldables and you've been interested in foldables for a while and you like and prefer Samsung products, I still recommend this device because you may not have that issue. I didn't have that issue with the 1 or the 2, and just because I'm having this issue don't mean you're going to have this issue. So just give you guys a heads up, that's just, the problem I'm having. Hopefully it doesn't get a lot worse anytime soon because, I don't use this as much as I used to now that I got the Vivo X Fold 3. I use that a lot more because the inner display and the outer display is just much bigger and the battery life is so much better and the performance is better. So not going to be using this a lot, but I still use it, definitely. But yeah, just something I thought I'd pass on to you guys. All right, so thank you for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody out there is staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.